I'm in Leslie County, Kentucky. This town right here is Hyden, Kentucky. Lots of stuff I could say about this town. In some ways it's a typical eastern Kentucky town, probably built on coal along the way. But some interesting people that have come from here as well. You can see that on the historical markers. Walking into the city park down here. Towns don't sprout up without a reason, and one of the reasons for this town to be in the area that it's in is the fact that the middle fork of the Kentucky River, I believe, is right here. I know there's the Rock House Creek that runs through here. I think the confluence of both creek and river are in this area. People usually settle around places where there's plenty of water, but you can see the hills that surround this community, and you can hear the birds chirping away. I just heard a woodpecker just a second ago. Yeah, Hyden, Kentucky here in February of 2017. Some of the history of this area is that a family named the Sizemores back in the 1800s came through here. Now I know this area is probably, people have been here before that, particularly Native Americans, but this family, which has a bit of roots from Pocahontas, came through here and settled, and I think the Rock House Creek is named after the man. Anyway, just a little bit of the history of all that, and like I said, you can see the Kentucky River back there. A small town. This was the frontier life back in the early days of our country. It's hard to get in areas like this because of these hollers, and I had to come down a really steep hill to come into town that even had a truck runaway ramp. It was so steep. My air brakes took me into town just fine, but you could just tell that it's in even a place like this is hard to put roads in, but put roads in they did. And here this community is settled of probably over 300 folks live here, and within the community I'm sure a lot more. Hyden, Kentucky, out here in eastern Kentucky. I find the folks of eastern Kentucky and a lot of places that I go throughout Kentucky to be just the most friendly people that I can meet anywhere. It's just a good reminder to me that God is at work all over the place. Sometimes I get stuck in my little bubble of my world living in Lexington, Kentucky, and the routes that I drive throughout Kentucky and southern Indiana and southern Ohio remind me that it's a bigger place than just my world. The people that I meet along the way, don't have a whole lot of conversations with them, but in the brief encounters that I do have, I could tell the struggles that people are going through are just as real anywhere that I find, but also the imprint of God on each life. As we're all made in the image of God, I can clearly see. But this world is wrecked by sin, and I hate that. I hate that Adam made that choice, but apparently we all would have made that choice if given the situation. But I won't get too theological with that, except to say that, you know, even in a place like this, or maybe even in especially a place like this, even though folks are very friendly, you can see the effects of the fall. You can see it in the trash in the river over there, which, you know, is more ecological and environmental than anything. But you can see, you know, law firms, you can see pharmacies, you can see lots of things that have sprung up because of how broken we are, and relationships are broken. Lawyers are needed. Medicine is needed to keep us going, or sometimes make us feel like that's what we need to keep going. Anyway, I'm here at the Riverfront Park in Hyden, Kentucky, in the pavilion here that was built right here along the river. Skate park in the background. Just a nice little park here in Eastern Kentucky in February 2017. Yeah, I was just in Harlan, Kentucky, but 100 miles or so west of there is a place called Cumberland Falls. Now, you would probably think, what's Hyden, Kentucky have to do with this area? Well, the Kentucky River that we were at right there near Hyden actually runs off of Pine Mountain. It flows kind of north. Nothing's north, south, east, west in Kentucky. Everything kind of runs in a weird way. But the Kentucky River ends up eventually kind of northwest into the Ohio River. Now, that comes off of Pine Mountain on the other side of Harlan, Kentucky, which is over the mountain, over Pine Mountain. Now, this river starts in Pine Mountain also. This Cumberland River flows kind of southwest, kind of west into Tennessee, and flows back up north through Kentucky and near the land between the lakes. This river actually runs by Nashville as well in Tennessee, but it ends up in the Ohio River too. Kind of cool. But they both come off the same mountain. I love Cumberland Falls. Just a good illustration of God's creativity and power. This ain't nothing compared to what God can pull off. Love y'all, my grandkids and my kids. Y'all are special to me. Yeah, I may cry. Bye.